Over the last 10 years, I've asked over 500 Korean students the same question. What is holding you back from speaking? And the answers came back with different words, but with the same 5 patterns. And almost every one of them was hiding the real problem. Today, I'll give you the 5 most common answers, and I will tell you what the real answer was behind every single one. My name is Seunghee. I've been teaching Korean for almost 10 years. And in that time, I've asked this question to over 500 stock students in our coaching calls, or in community DMs, or in voice memos. And 5 answers kept coming back. But after a while, I noticed something. The answer they gave was never the real reason. It was a story their brain told them to protect them from the real answer. I'll walk you through all 5. Watch which one is yours. The most common one. I'm shy. I don't have confidence yet. I want to speak, but I freeze when I try. It sounds true and it feels true, but it's wrong. Here's why. Generally, think about this. When you speak English to a friend you've known for 10 years, are you shy? No. Why? Because you've spoken English to that friend thousands of times. Your confidence came from the repetition. You think shyness is the cause, but it's actually the result. You feel shy because you've never said this Korean sentence before. Of course you feel shy. You're doing something your mouth has never done. That's not your personality. That's just the lack of repetition. So what's the cure for shyness? Speak the same sentence 20 times, 30 times, until it stops feeling like weird in your mouth. Then shyness disappears. The second most common. Hey Seunghee, I'm so busy. I have work and family. So I asked the same follow-up question. Okay, so how much time did you spend on your phone yesterday? And the honest answer is usually between 2 to 4 hours. How much of that was language apps? Maybe 30 minutes. And how much of that was your speaking Korean out loud? 0. You don't need more time. You just need to take 10 minutes from the time you already have. You can take it from scrolling and give it to speaking. That's it. The time excuse is really just a cover for I don't want to do anything uncomfortable. Because speaking out loud, it feels harder than just tapping a screen. Tapping is easy, but speaking feels hard. The third answer. Korean grammar is too different from English. The word order is backwards, there are too many particles, and it's not in my native language. Honestly, all of this is true, but none of it explains why you can't speak Korean. Because every student learning any new language faces this. Italian speakers learning Korean face it. Korean speakers learning English face it. Or Brazilian speakers learning Japanese will face it too. And some of them speak fluently after 2 years. But others, even after 20 years, they still freeze. The difference is not the language. The difference is what they did with their study time. One group spoke out loud every day, and the other group studied silently and waited. So yes, Korean is hard, that's true, but it doesn't matter. It's the same kind of hard for everyone. What makes you different is what you do with that hardness. The fourth answer. Hey Seunghee, I think some people are really good at languages, but I'm not. I think my brain is just not built for this. This one is the most painful to hear because it is also the most wrong. The people you think are talented have been doing the right kind of practice for years. If you look at the brain scans for talented students and untalented students, they look the same. But the behavior is different. The hours they spend on one specific activity are different. And that activity is speaking with feedback. You're not untalented. You've just been spending your hours on the wrong activity. Switch that activity and the talent appears. The fifth answer. I can't speak Korean until it is perfect. I don't want to make any mistakes. I'm too embarrassed to sound bad. This sounds like a good thing, but it isn't. It is the easiest way to never speak Korean for the rest of your life. Think about this. Every fluent Korean speaker, every single one, sounded bad for the first year. They made the mistakes they were afraid to make. They're fluent now because they didn't wait until they were ready. Perfectionism is really just fear in disguise. It's the fear of sounding stupid, or it's the fear of being corrected, and the fear of somebody laughing. And here's the trick. When you actually start speaking and make a lot of mistakes and survive, the fear gets smaller. It's not because you got better, but because you finally saw that the worst wasn't that bad. So the cure for perfectionism is not more preparation. It's saying a broken sentence today. So what were they all missing? They just weren't speaking Korean out loud every day with feedback and repetition. That's it. That's the entire problem. The 5 answers I just told you were just different ways of saying, I'm not speaking Korean, and here's the story I tell myself about why. And the moment any of them started speaking every day with feedback for 6 days, those stories disappeared. It's not because they got over their shyness or found more time or developed talent, but because the real problem got fixed. And those stories had nothing left to hide. I know it's quite uncomfortable to hear, because if the story is wrong, then the answer is you have to do the thing you have been avoiding. And I believe there's no clever trick. There's no better system. There's just this one thing. Speak every day out loud, get feedback, and repeat. Let me say this quickly. People pay a lot of money for tutors because tutors remove all 5 of those stories. The tutor is waiting on Tuesday, so I'm too shy doesn't save you. You already paid the money, so I'm too busy doesn't save you either. They correct your mistakes, so I'm a perfectionist doesn't save you. That's what the money buys. It removes your stories. So if a tutor gives you that, please pay for the tutor. But for everyone else, the smallest possible version is the loop. 1. A prompt. 1 Korean sentence today. 2. A speaking attempt, out loud and recorded. 3. Feedback, from a Korean speaker or ChatGPT. 4. Repetition. Tomorrow, same sentence with the correction. Run this system for 6 days, and you won't need those stories anymore. If any of those 5 answers felt like you, I'd love to invite you into our free Korean speaking community. We have a complete weekly speaking plan totally for free. 1 prompt per week, a place to record, a real feedback from me, and real people learning Korean with you every single week. If you don't want to join, that's totally fine. But promise me one small thing. Pick the answer that felt the most like you, and today do the opposite just once. If you tell yourself you're shy, say a sentence out loud. If you tell yourself you have no time, give it 10 minutes today. If you tell yourself you're not talented, open your mouth anyway. The link is below.